the great Martin Brodeur is now with the St. Louis Blues, and I really believe that he is going to be an incredible catalyst for that team this year.
Well, I wonder how long he's going to be with the team. I think it's an opportunity for him, but when the other goaltender's healthy, I just have to believe that he'll be coming back. Is it Brian Elliott? Is that who it is?
Yeah, Brian Elliott.
When Brian Elliott is healthy.
And they got Jake Allen as a rookie.
I think this is a stopgap measure. It's an opportunity for Martin Brodeur, and good for him. But I don't think it's a.
And I think Elliott is a great goalie, but I think he's young. And I think a guy like Martin Brodeur could really be a great mentor to him.
That may be the case, but at some point, salary's going to come into play. There's going to be a bunch of things that are going to decide whether or not Martin Brodeur is going to be there. Not because he can't be a mentor, not because he can't do the job.
I'm telling you, he's going to stay there for the whole season. So we have a dinner.
We have a dinner. I'm losing track of these.
Signed as a 35 plus, more than 35 years old, your contract is guaranteed. So whatever he's getting between now and if he signs that contract, he'll get all the money. I know where you're coming from. He may not be there all year, but he's going to be paid for the full year. As I said to somebody, this guy has had great practices. They've been very impressed with his performance between the pipes. Darren Pang, who's an old Civ of great renown, he said he was very impressed with his first workout. So I give Darren the benefit of the doubt on that one. Next to Frank, he probably knows as much about goaltending as anybody, and he's not afraid to say that Brodeur looks good. But I don't see them doing anything other than cutting their roster by a player and keeping all three of the goalies, assuming they're healthy. And Brodeur will be available for the playoffs. And I can't guarantee you anything, nor can any of you, but I have a lot of respect for Doug Armstrong. I don't think that Ken Hitchcock would bring a guy in and embarrass him. I think that Brodeur is going to get a chance to carry the ball.
But
I think he's
Let me tell you this.
You know, he's
got a
great
than all of us.
in front of him.
Billy, you know
hold it.
all of us.
And I think he's going to be. I think he's going to have I think he's having a good run, and he'll bring a lot of experience to this much needed team.
Guys, listen. In sports, the most important thing in sports is emotion. And it's a story. Whether you watch the fucking movie Rudy, whether you watched Do It for the Big Dipper, or whether you love that saying, nobody comes in our house and disrespects us. I'm telling you, everybody loves the big story, especially the fans. And there'll be nothing better, nothing finer in the state of Carolina than Marty Brodeur going to St. Louis, a great team, an incredible team, and last year Miller hurt them, or he was hurt. Nobody knows what the truth is,
He
right?
He was hurt.
A lot of people picked Miller last year.
Bad in Vancouver this year.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying last year, Miller went to St. Louis. They thought he would just clean it up and win. So what I'm telling you, there's nothing better than a story like a guy like Marty Brodeur, who played his whole career and won a bunch of Stanley Cups in New Jersey. And now he's in St. Louis, and, first time he's wearing blue. And Marty is the only goalie that I know in the NHL that's never cheated. He always wore small pads, small trapper, small blocker, and, he's got good knees. He's physically in good shape. He's a positional goalie, went to the school of Jacques Plante, a big fan of Bernie Parent. I'm a big fan of Marty Brodeur, and I was blessed enough to meet him. I think he's going to do great. He's very competitive, and I believe the number one critic for Martin Brodeur is Martin Brodeur. I don't think he'd be playing if he didn't think that he could play.
But the question is, it's now more than 20 games. It's a quarter of the way into the season. Anybody had a chance to sign him before the season. Every 30 general managers all had the same opinion. Martin Brodeur was the only one who thought, I want to play, I think I can play. But all these guys are veteran NHL players. Bill, you yourself said it, Bill, that you didn't think.
I think Billy hit the nail on the head. Hitchcock, there's no way he's going to allow anybody to come in and embarrass him. So Elliott is a guy, and Marty, if he plays great, they got nothing to lose. Billy, this is a no-lose situation for St. Louis. Do you agree?
Yeah, well, I do, because I think that they see an improvement in their goaltending by bringing in Brodeur, and that's what we're debating. We're debating, is this all show and no go, or is this guy really going to come into the net and do something that the other two guys can't do? And
Martin Brodeur is
if it's a promotional gimmick,
Brodeur.
oh, what? I'm wrong. I don't know the two guys that are making that decision. Hitchcock's the coach, and he'll tell you who's going to play goal. So he's told his general manager, you sign him, I'm playing him. So that's when the rubber hits the road. As soon as he gets into the net, and I will not be surprised if he plays well. I don't know that anybody...
Marty's not getting in the net for the time. I'm sure they give him an extensive workout in their practices. For me, I always found the practices when I was playing NTHL and I was playing hockey as a kid. I found that the hardest part of playing the game for me was the practices, not the game. Because in the practices, you're not like pumped for the game, and guys are shooting rockets at you, and that's where you get hurt. And apparently the word out in the press is that Marty's been very impressive in the practices.
Hey, Frank, if he wasn't impressive in the practices, he wouldn't have gotten the contract. He had to play harder in practice. No matter what he did in New Jersey, if he was having an off practice, they would say, you know what, it's Martin Brodeur, don't worry about it. He could not afford to be anything less than his absolute best, because he had to make an impression on St. Louis. It wasn't the body of his work wasn't there to show. It was show us what you can do right now. He had to be brilliant in practice, and he did, obviously. The question is now, going forward, will they give him enough opportunities to be brilliant in games? Because towards the end of his career, he was no longer brilliant anymore. And he wasn't the first goalie who was the greatest goalie, a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, who towards the end of his career wasn't as good as he was going back.
At the end of his career, that whole New Jersey Devil team was dismantled, and he didn't have great defense in front of him. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just telling you that I'm not going to be a motivational speaker for Dr. Kevorkian like you are right now, and doom and gloom because he had bad games at the end of his career with New Jersey. But New Jersey, as a team, the whole team had bad games. So you want to blame it on Marty because it was the end of his career?
No, I didn't say that at all. As usual, you're putting words into my mouth that I did not say.
No, they're your words.
No, I didn't say. I said towards the end of his career, he wasn't as good as he was in previous years. And that's a fact, because if it wasn't a fact, he would have been signed at the end of the contract.
Listen,
and Perry, your point's
they're
well made, and so
structuring the New Jersey Devil team.
New Jersey Devils were not the team in the last 5 years of Martin Brodeur's career that they were in the first 15. Martin Brodeur was not the same goalie in the last 5 years. We have to establish, was there a connection between a bad team and worse goaltending? And so if there was, then the best place he can play is in St. Louis, because he's back on a team that's at the caliber he left 5 years ago in New Jersey. New Jersey, I mean, they made a Stanley Cup final, but nobody knows how. But they're not nearly the team. And the way St. Louis plays, he'll have good shots that he can handle. He's not going to be bouncing up and down trying to cover the whole end of the ice. He'll just have to play the way he played all his career. And if he's fit and he's got the right attitude, and it appears that he has, he may be a pleasant surprise. But I think his deterioration in goaltending was directly related to the fact that he was now playing for a piss-pot team.